Hello, my name is Daphne, and today I will be presenting on the topic of factors related to stress perception and response. Before I begin, I would like to thank my mentors, Professor Larson and Professor Wiggs, for supporting me. And in addition, I also would like to thank the Honors Program for hosting this event and allowing me to present my research. Introducing the topic of stress. Stress is defined as the physiological responses to physical, psychological, and/or socio-environmental demands. Stressors can be perceived in various ways, though it can generally be grouped into three main categories. Daily hassles, such as the traffic on the commute to an event, life changes, such as moving to a new home, and catastrophes, such as natural disasters. Identifying and evaluating the stress with regard to the type of stressor and the degree of the response is one aspect of this dynamic. Managing through coping mechanisms is a critical aspect in how a person responds to these stressors and how it can also affect their mental health and physical health over time. According to Folkman and Lazarus' theory on stress and coping, they proposed two types of focuses that contribute towards stress and coping. First, an emotion-focused approach is when an individual controls their internal processes, such as their thoughts and emotions, during the event of a stressful situation. And second, a problem-focused approach is focused on altering the external environment that is causing the stress. Between the dynamic between the stress perception and coping, the mechanisms we practice toward managing stress can either positively through active coping or negatively through avoidant coping affect our physical and mental health over time. For the method, the overall design and procedure of the present study was approached through a literature review that considered how these biological, psychological, and socio-environmental factors affect a person's perception and adaptation to stress. One thing to note is the study sought to understand these interactions of stress and coping among the adolescent population. However, further developments can take place toward getting a better understanding on how these stressors and coping mechanisms take place across the human lifespan, and how do these perspectives in biology, psychology, society, and in the environment take place. Health and wellness is multidimensional, and by understanding how these factors interact with each other, it allows us to see a more clear picture on personal potential causes and how we manage stress, to then be able to adopt healthier mechanisms. Going into the perspectives, biological factors such as genetic or chemical relating to hormones may provide insight into certain behaviors and how are they inherited, as well as how the body physically responds. Psychological factors, such as thought processes and personality traits, may provide insight toward gaining better insight in how a person behaves and how they perceive and adapt to stressors. Socio-environmental factors, such as culture, may provide insight into how these external factors affect the development and change of coping mechanisms. For example, Lawton's theory on environmental press, his model considers how external factors may contribute toward affecting a person's optimal performance, which is seen in this middle area right here. And how it affects if a person is overstressed, which can be seen here with negative effect, or understressed, which can be seen in this lower area on the right. This speaks to Albert Bandura's theory on social efficacy that considers how a person's internal motivation can be affected on their beliefs, internal beliefs, toward adapting and overcoming a challenge. This is important because it provides perspective towards how an individual person and the external environment around them interact with each other. For further discussion, an approach toward raising awareness about the risk factors and preventative approaches toward stress may be implemented through a health promotion service for the community, a potential policy that can be implemented toward providing the community with educational resources, support systems, as well as social engagement toward raising awareness, providing access to resources, and building community, toward learning how to take care of their mental and personal health across the various aspects of their health and well-being. And finally, to conclude, stress can be healthy in ways that it can provide motivation toward personal growth. However, it can also be harmful if, over time, it affects our health, our relationships, and our daily living. Through being mindful on how we perceive stressors in our lives and adapt toward managing, it can help cultivate behaviors that help not only develop healthier lifestyles, but also increase overall quality of life. Stress can also be looked on across the lifespan, as each stage may encounter different challenges that are unique to each stage in life. As we grow and engage in new experiences, we continue to learn about how to better strengthen and adapt our abilities to interpret and cope with these stressors in our everyday. Thank you.